Hello, hi everyone. Hello to those of you who are joining us live and also to those of you who are going to watch the recording. I'm excited to be here today on a very hot summer day here in Romania, and I'm assuming in London, where Lorraine is based, is also very hot, right?
It's so hot.
Hello,
And I'm
hi
actually in
everyone.
Ireland today, so that's
Ah, to
also
those
hot.
of you who are
Yeah.
joining us live and
Okay.
also to those of you who are going to watch the So recording. Today I'm excited
We
to
are
be
doing
here
the
today on a
compassionate inquiry
very hot
live, and the
summer day
theme that we're
here
going to explore
in
today is the theme of
Romania, and I'm
playfulness.
assuming in
And through
London,
the
where
CI
Lorraine is
lens,
based, is
playfulness
also
is
very
not
hot,
about avoiding
right?
what is difficult. It can be an invitation into curiosity, experimentation, connection, and a little more space around what we take seriously. Lorraine, thank you so much for joining us today. Lorraine is a compassionate inquiry practitioner based in London, and her work integrates compassionate inquiry alongside cognitive hypnotherapy, clinical hypnotherapy, NLP, EFT, and havening. In her practice, compassionate inquiry underpins the conversation and sessions she offers. So, welcome, Lorraine. We're pretty excited to have you here with us today. Thank you, Christina. So nice to be with you.
Hmm. And for those of you who watched our previous lives, you already know that it's going to be a short one, but we are also inviting you to leave us your comments and questions. I'm going to watch the phone, so the team that we're having here as a support, we're gonna let me know in case we have any questions from you, and we'll be excited to read them. And so let's start the conversation around the theme of playfulness. And I'm curious, what does playfulness mean to you through the CI lens, Lori?
Sure. I mean, it's such a good question, but for me in compassionate inquiry, we're always interested in what becomes possible.
Mm,
When we stop assuming that we know, and playfulness invites us into that space of that's full of possibilities, that willingness to experiment, to wonder, to notice,
mm,
to almost hold our stories, a little bit more lightly. And, not because they're not important, but because we don't really have to grip them or be gripped by them so tightly in the present moment when playfulness is present. And, I'm pretty sure I heard Gabor say one time that curiosity is the antidote to certainty. And for
mm,
me, playfulness is curiosity. It's curiosity with warmth, with fun, presence, and connection.
mm.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that very much, Lorraine. Thank you. And I really resonate with this perspective of creating the space where you can explore and become curious and see what are the possibilities that can emerge through the space that's being created in the therapeutic relationship, and how important it is not to make assumptions, right? And sometimes it's because we have this observer view, maybe we see the connections, and how
Mhm.
important it is to just trust the client's process and open ourselves to other perspectives, to other possibilities as well. Hmm.
Exactly that, to
Yeah.
allow it almost to emerge organically, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
within that space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you for this image. I also had this image of a child exploring, playing around, and this
Ah,
constant curiosity, the quality that's
yeah.
there in all of us, and how important it is to connect with it. Hmm.
Amazingly, yes. And it's something that so many of us, maybe as young children, young human beings, did not believe that it was always safe to play.
Hmm.
And often, so many human beings learn to monitor the room, to perform or achieve or to sometimes stay small. And, you know,
that survival almost can become the priority. And I suppose that spontaneity and that playfulness is what can at times disappear. So I think
Mhm.
it's something that is so beautiful when you see that emerge, organically through the CI sessions, working alongside people to see that emerging again. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, so beautiful. And I also connected this image of the body language, because when we're talking about trauma, we're also thinking
Yeah.
about what trauma is, and the trauma is like a limitation of our, of the
Yes.
possibility, how we show up in the world, how we respond to
Correct.
what's happening. It's a
Yeah.
narrowing of our perspective. And also
Correct.
when I say narrowing, I also think about how the body contracts, and
Yeah.
it's kind of like we're making ourselves small,
Smaller.
whereas playfulness brings curiosity and also
Yes.
expansion.
It's
I tune into my capacity to open more when I feel
mhm.
enough safety to do so. Mm,
Wonderful. Yes, exactly that. That, almost the nervous system asking that question, can I play? Am I safe? And
am I
how
safe?
that, yeah, so that safety
Yeah.
that allows for playfulness to occur and the expansion and the physiology of playfulness that is almost the opposite to the constriction and the tightness that is so often part of trauma and that limiting that happens so often early in life. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Lorraine, sharing with us. And I think that also connects with the second question I have here. And the second question is, what can get in the way of playfulness, especially
Yeah,
when we've learned to be serious, careful, or guarded? Mm,
absolutely. What gets in the way is sometimes the need to stay safe and, the need to remain small, to not challenge the environment that one might live within. And these conditionings, these ways that human beings sometimes have to adapt and learn to live within in order to be safe can very often get in the way of that spontaneity, that
mhm,
capacity to just play. Because, of
mhm,
course, as an organism, we are wired for survival. And I would see that as trauma, being what really impacts the playful nature of human beings.
mm, mhm. Yeah. And while I was listening to you, I also had this image, and I think that's something I shared in the past. But I think it really speaks to what you were talking about, and how the trauma impacts our capacity um, to explore, to be playful,
Mhm.
and also, it determines what's safe, what's not safe, and how sometimes we go
Yeah,
into protection more often than
exactly.
openness. I was with someone in my family, and she went through like a group activity, and she was being expansive, and she really enjoyed herself in the moment, and she was sharing about what was happening in the group and so on. And she was being playful or connecting with the playful side of her, and she stopped for a moment and said, "Oh, I should go back to normal." And the normal was the state of protection, the
Yeah,
state of being guarded. It's not safe to open up, it's not safe to enjoy myself.
it's not safe.
Mhm.
Yes,
Mhm.
and it's incredible, even in that moment, that switch from being open, expansive to that, oh, I need to go back to normal. Because when we are fully connected in that safe space where we can be spontaneous. You know, that playfulness, it asks very different questions of oneself. Playfulness will, you know, allow questions like, I wonder, or what would happen if I do
Mhm.
this, or isn't that interesting, or is this old? You know, suddenly we're kind of exploring differently instead of judging ourselves and saying, I need to go back to,
Yeah.
I think normal was the word that you used,
Yeah,
which is,
normal. Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. So a very different experience, you know, psychologically, physiologically, and emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as you're talking about that, psychologically and emotionally, and also, I'm seeing some questions here, and one of them is, what does playfulness feel like in your body?
Ah, great question. Really great question. I mean, I can speak for me.
Mm,
I notice that expansion through that almost openness in my chest and heart. I notice the energy of playfulness almost being like the energy of excitement within me. I find it's an aliveness. It's a
mm,
connection within my own body, but also when I play with other people, I feel, you know, when you laugh, when you smile, when you connect with other people at that level, there's a resonance that is a full body experience.
mhm.
And it's something that I enjoy very much. And even as I'm speaking about it right now, I have a sense of that in my
Yeah,
system. Yeah.
yeah.
What about you,
And also,
Christina?
and also when I'm watching you, because we have this mirror neurons, right? I was
Yeah.
listening to you, watching your body language, and I noticed myself smiling and
Yeah.
opening more because join you in the
Yeah.
state of safety, in the
Yeah.
state of ventral vagal, if we were to
Ventral.
talk about the
Yes.
polyvagal
Yes.
perspective. So it creates more connection when we're able
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
relate in that way. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's something incredibly powerful when you see two human beings smiling, laughing together, and that physiological connection that is palpable in that
Mm.
experience. Yeah. It's
Mhm.
wonderful.
And now I'm thinking about another thing that came to me, because in a lot of therapeutic schools, you are trained to be like this, to have this stance where you don't show any emotion,
Yes.
where you don't share anything about yourself. Um,
Yeah.
it's not okay if you tear up or connect with people in
Yeah.
that way. And I was thinking that in compassionate inquiry, actually, we want to encourage the sense of opening up and showing yourself, and so
Absolutely.
that you can come in connection with the other. Hmm.
I think it's such an incredible distinction, you know, and that was something that really stood out for me in compassionate inquiry was the capacity as a therapist to be fully human, to
Mm-hmm.
meet my clients in a fully human connected way without any power dynamic that said, I cannot show up in that way of connection, just authentic human connection. And it is, for me, what sets compassionate inquiry apart because we meet people exactly where they are. We show up authentically without agenda, without hiding who we really are. And it allows for a connection at that level of authenticity that is transformative as a practitioner as well as a client. And I've obviously experienced both. So I think it's a wonderful testament to compassionate inquiry to teach this and give permission for this.
Mm, I like that. Give permission for this.
Yes.
Yeah, it really allows the nervous system to settle in a way. Oh, I'm allowed to show myself in this way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mhm. And as we're preparing to end our short
Oh, so
short
soon.
live for today, Lorraine, I would have enjoyed like a full hour
Me
or two
too.
with you on this theme.
Me too.
But if you were to suggest something for people watching us, what is it that they can do in order to invite more playfulness in their lives?
Yes. Can I maybe offer one question?
Yes.
One question that I sometimes ask of myself, but what would I try today if I knew I couldn't get it wrong?
Mm,
What would I do? What would I try? What would I experiment with if there
mm,
was no way I could get it wrong? And sometimes that allows that invitation to be more playful, to be curious, to experiment, knowing that there is no way that it can go wrong. It's just learning, just like we did when we were children.
mm. Amazing. Thank you for the question. And I'm going to invite everyone listening to us, if you can leave us a comment with your answer to Lorraine's question. What would you like to try? What would you like to do if knowing that you cannot fail or nothing can go wrong? I am curious to see your answers. Well, Lorraine, thank you so much for
My
today. It's
pleasure.
been a real
You,
pleasure
Christine.
to talk to you, and I'm looking forward to our future lives.
Oh, me too. Thank you, Christina. Thank you, everyone.
Take care, everyone.
Perfect. Thank you, ladies. That was wonderful.
Yeah, that was lovely. Well done.